Hello, very good morning. Welcome to JS Testing Academy. Welcome to the next part of video in the API Automation Framework series. Okay, so in the previous video, we added base package and we added base test, config manager, payloads, and Pojo class. In the next video, we saw about the different utilities, right? We added REST assured utilities, validation utilities, and enum resource we added. Okay, so all these things we added right in the previous video. Okay, now it's going to be a very important video where we are going to add right future file, and we are going to create the step definition right to our automation framework. Okay, so before that I'll do a small modification in the previous rest assured utilities. Okay, we in the basic video we studied about the log filter, right? So log filter is right where we can get the log of the request and response in a separate file. Okay, so that we can get right. So let me add that into the code now. Okay, so so we can get the request and response in a separate file. Okay, after the execution, so that will be very helpful for right right to identifying what is a request and response. Okay, so let me add this. Okay, print stream. Okay, so we are going to print the request and response, right? So for that I'm using print stream. This we learned in our right previous videos. Okay, so input print stream. I'll also change it to print stream. Okay, I'll change import the file java io. Let me add. Okay, so in this src test resources I'll add one folder. Okay, that is log. Okay, so I'll create this and I'll take this path. Okay, then I'll put here. Okay, I'll remove the project name. Okay, then I'll give the file name also, log dot text. Okay, so what happens now? This. Okay, let me right keep this inside the method. Okay, now I'll keep this outside so that it can be called outside also. Okay, I'll make it global. Okay, so now right, what I'll do is right, so we need to right print the log, right? So for that we'll add one step. Okay, here dot. Okay, filter. Okay, filter request logging filter. Okay, dot log. Okay, 1 minute, logging 1 minute. Request logging filter. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, request logging filter dot. Okay, log request to. Okay, this method we have to do and log. Okay, then again we have to give. Okay, dot filter. Okay, request 1 minute. Request logging filter dot log response. We have to give log response here. Okay, log response. Okay, response to filters, not filter. Okay, logging filters, response to log. Okay, filters dot logging response to log. Okay, I made a mistake. Okay, response. Okay, import response logging filter. Okay, change to log response to. Okay, now it's fine. Okay, so now this request and write response will be stored in the log file. Okay, same thing we are going to add in the next methods also. Okay, same thing you are going to add in the next methods also. Okay, in other methods also. So all the get, post, put, write request and response, right, will be stored in the log file. Okay, this makes our work very easy. Okay, to identify any issues, right? Once we run, it will store in console, but next run it will move on, right? So now instead of that, we'll store it in a log file so that where we can check, right, and debug, right? If you have any issues, we can check it. Okay, so like that we can generate, create requests and logs and store it in a separate log file. Hope you remember, right? In the previous basic videos we saw, right? Let me show you if you are not seen. Right, 1 minute. You remember, right? We printed this requests and logs in the separate file. Same thing I am trying here. Okay, so now let's go back to the framework. Okay, so I've added the logs here. Let me go and add the step right features here. Okay, let me go to the automation feature. Okay, let me delete this existing one, create a new feature. Okay, I'll go and go to file. Okay, make sure Cucumber is installed, plugin is installed in a machine. Cucumber and Jerkin, right? Both should be installed in a machine. Okay, in the Eclipse. I have to go to Eclipse Marketplace and install Cucumber and Jerkin. That is very, very important. Okay, C2TA TA endpoints. Okay, dot feature. Okay, I've added one, right, C2T endpoint dot feature. I'll remove all the uh, default things. Okay, let me delete all the default things. Okay, let me start writing here. Okay, so now let me remove this one. Okay, what is a feature is, right? Feature. Okay, to validate the C2TA endpoints. Okay, that is a feature here. I'll remove this one. Okay, scenario is, okay, first scenario is to validate the post endpoint. Okay, given, right? Given as a precondition, right? Enter the base URI and resource. Why we go for BDD is, right? BDD is a behavioral driven development framework where we use these jerkin keywords. All these things are jerkin keywords where it is easily to understand. Even the non-technical people can understand the script in without BDD, right? So our script will be confusing, right? We can't understand. This makes our script in a simple English so that you can easily understand. Okay. Now, right now, let me add the end condition. Okay. So now, okay, now the actions need to be written, right? Right. Enter the post request. Okay. Enter the post request. Okay. I will add here. Okay. Title. Okay. Body. Author. Okay. Now I'll put double quotes. Okay. Then validate the status code. Okay. I'll remove these things we don't want. Okay. So this I'll make it as a scenario outline. Okay. This I'll make it as a scenario outline. Okay. I'll copy these examples. I'll paste here. Scenario outline, we go for data driven testing. Okay. When I want to pass multiple values, right, I go for scenario outline. Okay. So if I want to pass multiple titles, multiple requests, right, I go for scenario outline. Okay. So I'll give author. First title is JS testing academy. Okay. So I'll just giving JS testing. Okay. It's not confused. JS testing. Okay. Now body. I'll make it to rest assured. Alright. Author, I'll make it to Frank. Okay. Then again, if I want to pass multiple things, right? Testing. Okay. Let me make API. Okay. Then I'll make it to Joshi. Okay. So this I pass the first one. Okay. Let us create the second one also. In this, we'll just copy this one. I'll copy this one. We'll delete this one. No need. I'll make three test cases here. I'll make it to tag 2. Here we're not passing any data driven. I'll just remove the outline. Okay. To validate the get endpoint. Okay. Enter the get request. Forget no need of body, right? So I'll delete this one. Then I'll delete the examples. Okay. So we entered post and we entered get. Okay. So now in BDD, right, it won't accept the same steps, right? Duplicate steps. So we need to just modify it. Okay, I'll remove one here. Don't accept the duplicate. Small modification. Base URI, alright? Or let me type base URI address source. Okay, validate the status code. It won't accept the duplicate steps. Just a small modification. Okay, let me add the put also. Okay, I'll copy here. I will paste. I'll put tag 3. Okay, I will put 10 point. Okay, put, it's very easy, just modification, right? So I need to update, right? Testing. Okay, rest. Okay, I'll name it as Satish. Okay, now I'll make it as just update. Okay, we are going to update things. Okay, so I've added three right scenarios here. Okay, one is a post endpoint, enter the base URI and the resource get. Okay, here also a duplicate won't accept, right? I'll just make it okay status. I'll make it as a capital letter. Okay, status code. Okay, or I'll make it verify. Okay, verify the endpoint. And next one is right. I'll make this one also capital letter. Okay, now it should be fine. Okay, so I think there is no duplicate steps. All right. Okay, let me run this one. So we have to right click, go run as Cucumber Future. So and it's going to generate some steps here. Okay, no future fine. Okay, so we didn't add the test runner. 1 minute, right? Okay, before that we need to do one thing. Okay, so we need to add the test runner here. Okay, test runner is where we are going to execute our framework. Okay, for that let me go to the previous project. Okay, let me copy this one and I'll paste it. Okay, so I just run this. Okay, so I'll just copy it and paste it here. First, right, we are going to run with Cucumber with testng. For that, I've added Cucumber options. In Cucumber options, I've imported the Cucumber testng Cucumber options. So already we added the form.xml for Cucumber in our first early classes. Okay, hope you remember. Okay, so this we added in the first class itself. Okay, so I've added Cucumber options. In Cucumber options, I've added the features. Feature means we have to give the path of the feature. Let me copy this one. Okay, and I will give, and I as usual I'll delete the project. I'll keep SRC test resources. So okay, futures. Okay. So when I run it, it runs the entire futures. All the future files in the future will get executed. Okay. And glue is step definition. Step definition is this one. Okay. So step definition. So it is going to run the call the step definition package and run all the steps here. Okay, step definition, the name spelling should be very right, should be same, otherwise it's going to create a right error. Okay, make sure the step definition spelling is wrong. Glue is right, we are mentioning which package of steps you are going to run. And plugin, we are telling which report we want, that is Cucumber report. Okay, so if I give public class Cucumber testng runner extends abstract Cucumber runner, if for running with testng we need to import this one. Okay, for running with testng, we need to import this right abstract test cucumber test so that it runs through testng. If it is JUnit, we no need to add. If you are going to run with the JUnit framework, no need to run. Instead of testng, we can import the JUnit framework. Okay, I'm just adding one small code so that I can generate an extent report also. Okay, for that I'm just creating two global right variables. One is extend reports extend and extend test. So I'm just created one method and at before class extend sparker reporter html reporter equal to new extend reporter, and this report is going to stored in the target folder. Okay, suppose right I want this here in this right report also I can give it. Okay, that should not be an issue. Okay, suppose right I want in this in the report folder. All right, so I'll take this one. So it's going to store the report in the src test resources reports in the extend hyphen reports folder. Okay, then extend equal to new extend reports attach report and HTML reporter. This report attach right in the extend and just create the name of a test as cucumber test ng API test, and this runs before class after class right generate a report and clear it. Okay, so that is what I gave here. Okay, now let me run this one. Let's see what happens. Okay, 1 minute. Let me change the. Okay, okay, 1 minute. Okay, let me create a new future file. Okay, I've just modified this file name. Okay, let me run now. Okay, I just modified this file name. Let me run now. I'll give run as Cucumber Future. See, it's generating some steps. Okay, it generated some steps. Okay, what we need to do now is right. So we need to create three files here. Okay, three step definitions. Let us delete it and create from first. Okay, so we are already created a step definition package in the first right framework structure framework create structure video, right? So in that we have to go and create, okay, post steps. Okay, then create another class get steps. Okay, then create another class put steps. Okay, so we created a three right package now. Okay, if I run the future file, if I right click run the future file, okay, so you'll get generate some steps. We need to copy it, okay, and right paste in the corresponding steps. For example, post steps, I'll copy this one and I'll paste it. Okay, forget right, forget steps, I'll copy this and I'll paste in the get steps. Okay, for put steps, I'll copy and paste in the put. Okay, for example, right, for each line it's going to create one method here. For example, we enter the base URI and the resource, it created one method. For the post, okay, enter the post request and body, it created one method. Validate the response, it created. So I copied these three things and pasted in post steps. Same thing, validate the get request, enter the base URI and resource, it created one method. Enter get request, it created one method. Validate the response, it created one method. So I copied these three things and pasted in the get steps. Same thing, right? Enter the base URI, right, and the resource. Enter the put request, it created one method. Enter validate. So I copied these things and pasted input. Okay, let me remove the unwanted steps and import the given right package. Okay, so I'll remove this. So this BDD is very simple. Before we don't know what method we are writing, so now we can understand and read and see, right, this right enters the base URI and resource. So it's like a description of a method, right? That is why we go for an BDD. Okay, enter the post request with string, right, string title, body, and author. Okay, validate the response. Okay, it's very easy, right? It's very simple. Okay, so that's why we go for opt for an BDD. Okay, so BDD is a behavioral driven development framework. It is right user check-in keywords where we write some simple English test cases where non-technical people can also can understand. Right, it is used for data driven framework. We can generate easily extend reports. Right, we can use add hooks. Right, before and after. There are a lot of uses. Right, we can generate cucumber report. Right, there are a lot of uses. Right, of the BDD. Okay, so I've created post steps, right, get steps and put steps. Let me import this also. Okay, now it's very simple, right? This one is very understandable, easy, maintainable, and reusable, right? So this, that's why we go for this, right? This also like a page object model structure for each step, right? Which class, one class, right? Right, so each endpoint I created one class, so it's like a POM, page object model structure, where we can understand easily by reading this. This class is for post steps, this class is for get steps, this class is for put steps. Okay, and through runner file we are going to run it. Okay, if I am going to run with a runner file, for that I'll create a testng.xml file so that it can be easily executed. Okay, for that right click on test runner class and go to testng and convert to testng. Okay, so if I click it, no parallel, it's only one class. A testng.xml file will be created. No need to run from test runner. Normally you run through test runner, we can run with a testng.xml file. Okay, suppose this needs to be integrated with Jenkins or something, we can add a plugin here. Let me show you. Okay, so we can add one plugin here so that this can be called in our right, we can run through pom.xml, and we can integrate with Azure pipeline, or we can integrate with the Jenkins also, DOPS integration. So this code can be pushed in JIT. Okay, I will add this entire dependency in the description of this video so that it might be helpful to you. Okay, this plugin, right, maven shortfire plugin, right, group id, artifact id, and configuration includes testng.xml. So this pom.xml, right, will be triggered in Jenkins or also. So that pom.xml will trigger this testng.xml file. That testng.xml file will contain this runner class. So runner class invokes the future file. The future file invokes the step definition. Like this is going to run. Step definition will have all these right base methods and rest assured. So step definition will be call this base test and rest assured utilities. Okay, so this is how the flow it's going to work. Okay, so this is how the BDD Cucumber logic resides and works. Okay, so in this video I created a future file, I created a test runner class, I generated test steps, I've added a logger also, and I've added testng.xml file so that it can be easily executed. So I right click run and run as testng.shoot instead of running as a test. Okay, so all these three steps will be called in testng.xml file, and it's going to run. We didn't add the right, still there is some work. We need to call this right rest assured utils into the steps that we are going to see in the next part of video. Okay, hope this video is useful for you. Thanks for watching this video. All right, have a nice day, have a nice learning. Hope you're all learning well through JS Testing Academy. Have a nice day. Bye.